So it's a really easy recipe. We start with marinara sauce. Don't forget the Parmesan cheese. This could be good. And the raw chicken. And the cupcake. And some amoxicillin. Okay, and some black licorice. And just a little bit of nutmeg.
What are you doing?
I'm making lasagna.
Oh, God.
Oh, whatever. So, don't forget the twist of lime. And voila! Our lasagna is complete. Hello everyone, I'm Steve, Marc's out in the garden, and this is Smokey, Steve, and Marc. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Saturday. It's the weekend, do we know what that means? I'm having actual heavy cream, because we had some around, for my coffee. So good. So beats the mocha minty, triple this, that, the other, just plain good coffee and a little bit of cream. So I hope everybody is well, I hope everybody is safe, look after yourselves, look after each other in these interesting times that we all share. Today we are going to revisit our fair lady, Chantelle Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, The Daily Chantopolis, The Beezer Show, and Foodie Beauty. Now, Beezer Show isn't really another name. It's another channel she puts content on. So last week we were talking mostly, everything was kind of an offshoot of this rant that she did when she was in Cuba. And she was wicked drunk. Listen to me from Boston. Wicked drunk. And spewed out some of the most vile shit I've heard in a very long time. At least from, you know, someone who wasn't a skinhead. So, we went over that, and her defending Natter's racist comments, i.e. the big one was him referring to Monty, from Stories from the Internet, as a monkey. And then her insisting that he's not a racist, or he's been a racist before, but in this instance, I don't think he was. So she's going to bat for this man. And then the question we had at the end of last week, how do you keep the drama going? How do you keep it going? This is so sustained over a long period of time. People are bored making memes and reactions probably about the drama between Chantelle and Natter, or who name she won't speak of, or, you know, she can't talk about it. There's so much drama. She makes it so secretive. So whatever. So first thing we're going to talk about this week, created drama when she had her little post up. This comes off of last week. The post that she had said she thought she got from Dee Dee about reading between the lines that she was with your mans and them. You have to be an idiot not to know already. We'll talk about the apology that she did, recorded for the Cuba Rage. Too little too late. We'll talk. Let's see here. Going forward, again, what does she do? You know, it's do we have more back and forths, more trips to the police, more trips to Montreal, more boo-hoo, he hurt me, more boo-hoo, I love him, fuck you, I don't know. So, and we're also going to talk about her having men in moderation. We'll see how that shakes down. So, going from the beginning of my notes, creating drama to kind of perk things up, because it's been boring, and people have said the views are down. It looks like her subs are about the same. They haven't really switched around place, but her views are down. So she comes out in one of these videos this week with a text, and it's a very old text. I just knocked my nose ring out. That came to her, according to her, that had, and we went over it last week. Hey, you know that man of yours? I'm laying right next to him. Get it? Got it? Good. Something similar. And the question was, did she text it to herself because there's nothing else going on? So she had to create a little drama. Or did Dee Dee somebody text that to her? She admitted in the video, she's like, I got this text, the one that was so upsetting to her that day, a while ago. How long's a while ago? Like, so much has happened. I'm not going to reiterate what an idiot she is to think that this man is good for her at all, loyal to her, any of that stuff. And if she wants to play dumb so she doesn't get her heart broken, that's on her. But we're not all so naive in our thinking. Some of us by birth, some of us by experience, okay? So, that old text, she's still contemplating with her audience. So that's proof they were sleeping together, right? Well, how old was the text? And how long have you had it? Are you just trying to create this urgency for us to hear how upset you are about something that happened a month ago? That sounds like digging kind of deep for something. I don't know. And Natter hasn't been online. This was a whole other thing. Natter wasn't online for a whole week. So I've never been happier because the videos this week were kind of old school Foodie beauty. She just ate a shit ton and periodically annoyed people. So, and she keeps saying with this post that had been put up, again, coming into this week, was not about Natter. She's never mad at him. It's always those vixens who steal his heart, like Dee Dee. Oh, man. If Dee Dee could steal a man right out from under her, or if they're all in it together, you know. So this goes into the next, where this whole week she's eating Indian food. She had paneer, I don't know how many times this week. She had a little routine this week of getting up at the crack of 11 a.m. and ordering herself some food, and then probably crashing on the couch all day. The suspicion is that she's going to Montreal to go see Natter in the evening. And Pete's almost even blew up her spot about that, because he was in the background in one video just cutting her down, and she was not taking it seriously because she doesn't take him seriously. But he was given some digs in with that. So the food she ate, this was like old school Foodie beauty. Let's get more food than 4 people could eat in a day, sit on camera, and trash people who think fat people have to have a salad. This was old school, like 2 years ago, Foodie beauty, where she was only hurting herself by eating. Maybe some other people who were triggered by her behaviors online. But to that extent, I would say, in defense of Chantelle, you don't have to watch triggering content, and you only have to look through the thumbnails to find out that hers could be triggering to someone with some food issues. She doesn't have to be a responsible spokesperson for healthy eating, but this kind of niche of the overeating and the eating a whole lot was another part of her channel that really dipped away for a while. She was always big and always ate a bunch, but this week was like old home week for the mukbang community. I'm sure they're all up in the DMs asking her to like sit on a cake or something. So she's trying to get into things that will be good for the channel. So she's a little bit speedy in this, and she's talking about, well, I need merch. I need merch. I need other stuff going on. She's talking about cleaning. She's talking about what she's eating. Cleaning is never a long campaign. It is never a long campaign when she decides she's going to clean. It usually lasts about half an hour. Pretty much that's it. So, we'll see. You know, get back at it. We'll find out. Eating on camera. If you binge and at a certain point break into a racist tirade, then maybe perhaps there is a threshold of intoxication where all people become bigots. But I suspect that's not the case. Just saying. Just saying. So, dealing with men in moderation. As we all know, she's addicted to everything with a pulse. And some other things that aren't. But men in moderation is a challenging goal. It's a weird way to take a look at things. I wonder if her therapist brought it up. Or maybe the doctor. You know, one or the other. So, in the interest of this, she's trying to taper down her consumption of men. I no Freudian slip, maybe. But it's a nice change from, you know, drunken rages about eugenics. So I think it's something better than that. All these men are around Montreal. Go figure. She's finding all these men that just happen to live near where Natter is. So this poor bastard, either she's going to be coming to his house every night, or she's going to be stalking his house every night. She'll either be invited or uninvited, but if she's in Montreal that much, she's going to try to encounter him, which he may or may not take advantage of. He likes her money, but who doesn't like money? Some of us wouldn't do the kind of things he does to con her out of her money. On the flip side, she's never been so eager to give it. So this is another one of those victim, not victim, only victim when you feel stupid, but self-empowered and making our own decisions otherwise. Spend your money where you want. I think you'll feel like shit around 45, realizing you threw away your late 30s, which could be the last of your youth, because old fat bodies age faster. They do. Mine did. I have like jacked up arthritis in my hips because I was way too fat for way too long. Bodies give out. You can be beautiful and be fat. You can be sexy and be fat. You can be rich and be fat. You cannot be healthy and fat over a long period of time. Bodies just give out. It's just how it goes. So to that end, she goes out shopping for men. When she meets men, she meets them online. So that would require a profile and a profile picture, as you would know. So, we've heard about catfishing, fatfishing, that sort of thing. For her case being that she would take a photo of herself and alter it to make it seem as though she's probably a lot thinner than she actually is. She's contended that that is not body shaming, that she is beautiful just the way she is. With so many filters, she looks like a cartoon. It's unfortunate because she's not a bad looking person, but once you get to know her, she starts to look worse because you get to meet her and she has some really unflattering characteristics that are very off-putting to most people. I know, can I have people love me? Am I not allowed to? Of course you can, but you sure as fuck don't make it easy. You know, it's easy to love the lovable ones. It's very harder to love and accept someone, flaws and all. And it puts people over a bench when we say flaws and all. Like, you love me, love my hang-ups, love my addiction. That's emotional manipulation, actually, which goes into the manipulating the hell out of your audience and they'll take it back kind of thing. It must be a technique she uses in other areas of life as well. So Montreal, I guess we'll be in Montreal quite a bit. For some men in her life, which are either she is meeting up with them, or she's just playing, or she's making the whole thing up just to try to get Natter, because she believes that Natter slept with Dee Dee. She believes Natter moved Dee Dee in for a long period of time, and then moved in with her to another city, and she seems to not be convinced that it's over. I don't get it. She you know, it's romantic. You know, romance shouldn't be a competition. But it seems like, well, Dee Dee's not competing. She won. All she has to do is sit there, smile, and eat. You know, she's low drama. She's low stress. The only drama she gets into is when Chantelle starts spouting her business and trying to get her and her family jacked up because she's jealous. Because if you want to say she lost out to Dee Dee, you could say she lost out. If they're sharing at some end a polyamorous relationship, she's not wielding as much power or not being treated as an equal as she may think in the relationship. Bottom line, he stayed with one of them, lived with one of them, and left with one of them, and the one of them wasn't her. You know what? Take your lumps and just keep moving. It looks sad. It's very sad. It's kind of humiliating. And I don't mean humiliating like fart jokes humiliating. I mean like, what a sad person. What a sad state of affairs. What an uncomfortable way to live a life. That can change. I mean, people get out of shitty situations, self-induced or otherwise. Mine were mostly self-induced. I had a problem with substance use disorders, so I pretty much went out there and single-handedly ruined my life. Sometimes I brought a companion, but most of the time I was on my own. People are very unsympathetic to someone who destroys their own life and then feels bad about putting it together. Usually what people need to see is action and not just talk. And that's for any habit. If you want to go around telling everyone you're on a diet, then, you know, go ahead. You lost 60 pounds, according to her. Not 1 pound more or less. She's been right at like 330 and 340, allegedly, this whole time. I'm sorry, I don't believe you. You don't need me to believe you. But for what it's worth, you know, I don't believe you. I don't think she gained 60 pounds back, but she gained some. And she'd be the first to tell you that sex was her exercise. And now that Dee Dee is his new workout partner, she's maybe not getting as much as she was before. So that pic of hers, that pic where she was for Plenty of Fish, cartoon. She looks like a damn cartoon. It doesn't even look like her. You know, in real life, she's chubby and bald. In real life, I'm chubby and bald. It's okay. And I know about fat fishing because I was an insecure 20-year-old. Because the boys at that age can be vicious. You know, I was not one of the dancing queens. I was kind of over in the corner chain smoking, trying to hide my man breasts as best I can to not be noticed. But hopefully be noticed, but not be noticed. And if I was only sending pictures out, which I did, I used my high school photo up until I was 23. That's lying to people. There's nothing wrong with being fat or bald, necessarily. But people want to see someone that they meet in the picture. You know, they want to have an interaction or see someone who it's like, oh, that's what the picture looks like. Not from here down, not sucked into here. You know, there's a difference between cleaning up a few fine lines and looking like Jessica Rabbit by the end of it. It's just, I don't know. And the idea that she would have loved me at my worst is how she explains away kind of her, we don't have to be date ready all the time. I mean, it's Saturday. You don't know what I'm wearing underneath as pants, you know? I mean, my jammies, I'm hanging out. It's a day off for me. Every day's Sunday for her. So I guess that explains why she's kind of slovenly. But it crosses a line when it goes from I'm going to express myself however I want to I'm going to stop bathing to there's bugs in here. This is a real, you know what I mean? Would you have thought 2 years ago, well, maybe it would have, that Chantelle would be living in a house, spending her money on some dude who don't even like her, and sitting in fleas, you know, fruit flies, whatever. How the fuck do you get fruit flies in your bedroom? I know, it's because it's a little snack hut with leftovers. This is beyond clutter. This is beyond clutter. There is she whose name ought not be mentioned, who I used to do videos about on this channel. I would argue that her apartment was more cluttered, but probably cleaner as far as smells, bugs, and things like that. And both of them have cats in a small space. So just putting it out there. You know, there's some people who may look a little worse, but in my own head, piles of magazines, well, it's not pretty, but it's not, you know, insects. It's nothing we have to get the house domed and tented for to get rid of them. You know, and we've had bugs. We have bugs. I left a bag of potatoes under a counter one time for so long that when I opened it, it was like, you know, it's worse than bad meat and bad eggs. And then we had bugs for a while. My fault. So it took a while to get rid of them. It was all the fly paper and everything we could use. She won't even get probably fumigated. None of it. She won't even clean. Pete's won't clean. And I have a bone to pick with Pete's about cleaning, actually. He won't, like, okay, let's say I had a deal moving in together. Let's say it's Mark and I. And I'll move in with you, or I'll marry you, I guess, if you do all the cleaning. And Chantelle, or Mark, would have said, yes, I'll clean everything, I promise. Promise in the world, just because she needed a place to go. So she probably promised everything. I'll pay the rent, I'll buy all the meals, I'll bring the booze, I'll bring the girls, whatever she told him. And they move in together. I don't know. So we'll continue with her men in moderation as it goes on. I don't think it'll happen. She's lining up dates just to make Natter jealous. That's what I got for that. So going forward, we were all anxiously awaiting Chantal's apology for the Cuba Rage. So, okay. So for anybody who's catching up, the Cuba Rage and how it led up to it, she, a couple days before leaving for Cuba, had I guess you could call it a ménage à trois, a group sex moment, she alleges, with her, Dee and Natter. And I guess she took it pretty hard because she used some coded language for saying how sorry she was. So that happened, and then right after that, she left from there to go to the airport to go to Cuba, and she was there 7 to 10 days. And on the last night there, she went on this ridiculous, you know, bigoted rant about how everyone but her should get their shit together, pretty much. And anyone who doesn't like it can go away. It's a real attractive quality she has as a person. They're not flattering, just in case you couldn't pick it up. So, just to catch everybody up as to why it happened, she was there, and then she felt betrayed, and then she was good on the last night, and then she had a bottle of rum and 5 rum punches. I know, because she mentioned those twice in the apology. She said she refused to watch that whole video. The entire video of when she was in Cuba. She doesn't think she could stand it. That's the point. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. If every one of our actions is easy to explain away or is flattering, then, you know, we don't learn anything. I've had several things you want to say thrown in your face, but it's not. It's just consequences that come up. I've made quite a few messes in my life. A lot of people do. But I think a lot of people if they can take responsibility for their part in whatever happened. It might not even be their whole fault, but they had some piece of it. And then try to mend that and get them out of there. They're all just jumping in the pool. I'm surprised. Maybe we'll see a fourth. Maybe it'll be like Sister Wives and he'll have a little harem. But looking at the women that he's choosing for his harem, I think he profiles women the same way Chantelle profiles men. You know, he looks for women who needy, rich, starving for attention, and he knows what to say to them. So, and she profiles men who are low income, don't drive, may not have a job, because it gives her a leg up at the beginning of the relationship. She has power right off the bat. So, I don't know. Who's the victim? Who's the perpetrator? Do any of us care anymore? You decide. So, her apology, as it went, was useless. It was about under 3 minutes. It was filmed with some music in the background, like hotel music, you know, or hotel lobby music. That's what I was thinking. And she basically was using a tone. Hey guys, I just want to... And she had the cat right here. Like, here's the cat. Always good to have a prop. And said twice during the apology that she had had a bottle of rum and 5 rum punches. So she tried to blame it on the alcohol. Twice during the apology. Now, bringing up things that are saying those things to try to diminish blame, it does not work. We're all responsible, even if it's not flattering, for whatever happens, whether we're intoxicated or not. You know, I was a distracted, nay, drunk driver before I got jammed up in jail and treatments and all that kind of stuff. And I came out the other side, and thankfully nobody died or was seriously hurt because of my actions. But had they, being shit-faced doesn't mean I didn't do it. I didn't mean to do it. Well, we have involuntary manslaughter. You know, we have things that can address that. If she, you know, picks off a deer and it slams into another car and they slam into a tree and she's beezed out of her mind talking to her chat, and there's a lot of consequences that could come her way. Whatever. So, with the apology, she said she saw a few snippets, and what she did see, she regrets most of it. What parts? We don't know. She doesn't elaborate, so we don't know what she felt was justified and what wasn't. She says she still thinks we should be accountable for our actions. This is a good Chantelle one, too. She didn't invent it, but it's a good one, you can notice. When she starts to take responsibility and it gets too real, it becomes we. It goes from I to we. We should all be accountable for our actions. Not I should be accountable for my actions. I'm saying all of us should be. You're the only one who went on a rant and freaking took shots at immigration, took shots at people's sexuality, at everything. Everything. And told anybody who was upset with it to go screw off. And told the VIBs that they should screw off too if they don't like it, because they'll be manipulated into caring the next day. Aren't we having everything just figured out? We just got it all so figured out. This kind of smugness isn't good. It's not good. I don't know about karma and things like that. From the way it's been described and the way people have, you know, explained it to me, this could be bad. This could be very bad. Living bald and filthy in a house full of fruit flies might be your karma. I don't know. I'd stay stoned to forget it too, but that's just me. So yeah, she blamed the booze. She said she was sorry, that we could all stand to be accountable. She meant some of it, but like I said, we'll never know. To summarize, booze should be ashamed of itself for what it did to Chantelle. She blamed it on the booze. Full stop, period. She didn't take responsibility for anything. Anything. Except that. So, I don't know. That makes me a little bit ill. It doesn't surprise me, though, because I've done it too. But just because it's not surprising doesn't mean it's not shitty. And doesn't mean it shouldn't stop. And this has nothing to do with alcohol. This whole idea of when I'm challenged on a behavior, I decide nobody should engage in it at all. And I'm not going to take my responsibility. We all need to do better. Fuck you. We all need to do better. Some of us have. Some of us have. Some of us with a lot of help, some of it with no help. But floundering is by choice at this point. You know, she's invited old drama onto her channel to get into a fight with Dee Dee because there was nothing else to say. That and Indian food. Which brings us, you know... Okay. I don't know if I can talk about Indian food and Chantelle. It sounds messy. We'll bring Marc in here for a second. Marc!
Yeah.
Could you come in here, please?
Okay.
Thank you. Marc, come hither, come hither. You guys know Marc.
Hey, everybody.
So we were just, you know, going over some old memories.
Yes.
And the last thing we had just left off with was her rant in Cuba, but her apology for it. So she did eventually do an apology, which people were waiting for, and it was a filmed apology. It was almost 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
And she blamed alcohol for making her act like that.
Yeah. You mean the no apology?
The no
apology.
Did anyone feel better after that apology? Who did she even apologize to? For what?
I don't even know.
She doesn't know, but she didn't freaking watch the thing either.
I don't know. That certainly was not an apology, but I guess it's the best we're going to get from her.
Wow.
I mean, now remember, she has a track record of this type of thing, too, with her apologies. You know, I'm so sorry that you took that the wrong way. Not, I'm sorry for what I said.
You got to listen for a second to be like,
right.
Was that?
Yeah. Or, you know, I apologize for the vodka. You know, it's the vodka's fault. Or whatever, you know. The only time we got, like, a real close to an apology, at least it was like an admittance of truth, was when she was made to.
When Natter put her on blast and said, here!
Yes!
Say you came over!
And she, eyes up in the air.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just hungry.
I know, yeah. But anyway, no, I actually really don't have much to say this week because, in my opinion, this week was so boring. You know what? This 11 a.m. Indian food thing.
Oh, having all those days in a row. Which is, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just peculiar.
It's odd and it's boring. And how about that? What is she doing? Like once a week content for that paid subscription? I don't even know.
For the Beezer show?
I don't even want to get into that.
There's really nothing on there. And Monday was supposed to be a special for the Beezers, which
you remember? Oh, yes.
She forgot about till somebody told her over the weekend.
Yeah.
And it was like a 4-minute video.
It was pathetic.
That kind of played on The Office a little bit, kind of like the Beezer show does. But she had on her Dee Dee wig.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. And then how about that? Like, you know, Trek Outdoors on the side of the road. How about that? Imagine driving up the road and seeing that.
Oh, God.
I mean, well, anyway, but I didn't want to get into that. But yeah, I thought everything is just boring, and like even him coming back couldn't shake things up. I mean, you know.
No, it's like she's back with Natter. The only thing interesting is that someone could stay abused for so long, I guess.
No, it's very interesting. It's peculiar.
I don't say that to diminish those who are abused, but this is looking a little more nuanced than just your garden variety.
Well, this isn't,
you know, DD.
This is not the truth. This is not,
well, that's the thing. This is all mixed with lies.
Yeah, unfortunately, everything is. It's very unfortunate. And, you know, I think that, you know, what she has become, you know, which is pretty sad. You know, I mean, you know, again, the drug use, it's still going on. Of course it is. I mean, you know, again, the behaviors. I mean, we thought last week the apartment was bad. I mean, like, look, we live in a small apartment and we have a lot of stuff. But our apartment is clean. I mean, we clean, we sweep, we do. I mean, you know, it's clean.
Use soap, water, products that sterilize.
It's not there, you know. And again, it's behaviors and not taking care of the place that you live in, not taking care of yourself, your own personal hygiene. Did she say in a recent video that BBJ smelled like a bacterial vaginitis? I mean, what a disgusting.
Well, she would know.
I really want to say the word. I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, this is like what she's become. Now, she always did those, you know, kind of off-colored, kind of, you know, the farting and the burping and the, you know, even she's like, oh, did you ever pick your nose and then find a booger on your clothes like days later?
No.
I don't get it. I don't get it. But again, it's with the behaviors, and it certainly is unfortunate. And
maybe with a French tip, I could do a better job, like she has.
Oh my gosh!
Just saying.
So all of this, has come to a point where, like, okay, this is what she has become,
Mm-hmm.
and I hear her time and time again say, that she's trying to find like her true love. She wants love,
that's normal.
And that's normal. And she, I guess, wants some type of normal life. I guess, I don't know. But the thing is that Chantelle will never get well until she gets well, and how that's going to happen, of course, is with professional help, and she does need professional help. I mean, she's spiraling downward still, even though this last week was boring, and the week before there was stuff going on, but like, this is a downward spiral, continual downward spiral, and something drastic is going to happen one way or another. But the bottom line is that she will never find, true love. She will never find like peace and harmony with herself and with her surroundings, or live a quote normal life, whatever normal is to whatever person. She will never be a productive member of society. She will never have any of these things until she starts to respect herself. And she doesn't. Now, there's a huge difference between, self-respect and, like... Self-centeredness.
Yeah.
For what we see, I'm going to do whatever I want. I love myself, so I'm going to do this, that. It's completely different.
Yeah, that's not self-love. That's just making noise.
Yeah. And whether she wants to admit it or not, she does not respect herself. Thus... she respects nothing around her, including her cats, including Pete's, including where she lives, the VIBs, and every person that watches her. Chantelle, right now, in this stage of her life, she is out for herself, period.
Yeah.
She doesn't care who she hurts. She doesn't care. She wants your money.
She doesn't react like...
And it's a shame.
She doesn't react normally, like a normal...
No.
And I don't mean to say normal, but if we can cluster 100 people on one side and one on another as far as behaviors, we're going to call normal and abnormal.
Normal and abnormal, yeah.
I just think that she... I don't know.
It's just...
I can't even...
It's hard. It is becoming very difficult to even watch her at all. I don't know. It is. Because I don't associate with people like that, so it's hard to... I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah,
but
I know.
It is difficult to watch now, and until she does whatever she needs to do to get a little bit of love for herself, a little bit of respect for herself, she's not going to get well. And unfortunately, moving forward, we're just going to see the same crap. And it's crap. And that home there is like it's like romper room, like full of preschool kids. I'm sorry.
Meets
the way
a
it
dirty
looks,
snack
the way
hut
it smells, the way it...
you can have a cluttered home, but if it smells like people smell, or bad food smell, or dirty clothes smell, that's a choice.
That's a choice.
Is everyone only depressed on cleaning day? And every other day of the week we're not.
Makes a joke out of it, and it's unfortunate. Really? It is. I sometimes think about the cats. Like I was looking throughout the week, and there's empty cat bowls, and they're all different times, and I'm like, does she feed the cats? Like you wonder these type of things, and fruit fly situation. This long, there one video she's like, oh, I got to take care of this fruit fly situation. Bitch, you had these fruit flies a week ago. Yeah. What have you been doing? You
sit on.
They
multiply.
Oh yes, they multiply. But you can get rid of them. You can. I've worked in restaurants my entire life.
You get fruit flies.
They're not. You can take care of them. You can. So you just have to do it and not be so lazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I hope everybody's good. Nice to see you. I'm going to go back in the garden.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap up business here shortly, because I don't know what else to say.
I know, right?
So going forward, where does this leave us, having had all these events? I fear, though, well, it's not a fear. I don't give a shit, really. But that it's going to slip back a little bit into old mukbang territory. Eating the same thing every single day, takeout every single day. There's many, many other habits she has that are concerning, of course. But as far as her content goes, we've only seen, her eating on camera for the last bit. And she's trying to shake the trees to get the feeders out, probably because, views were low. Lower than she expected, or she didn't make the amount of money between super chats and the whatnot. She's always screaming out, unless it's $10, I'm not answering questions. Unless it's $15, I'm not answering questions. Unless you've signed up.
She thinks she is.
Unless you've signed up for 5 platforms where I've made 3 videos, you don't deserve it. I do not owe my life to everybody on this channel. It's so hard being me. So.
Do I have a violin?
I don't know.
Okay.
God, I don't think we need one. I can just talk a little more about her. So, she may try the Vixen I Have a Date storyline. She may do an old story time about some guy she slept with who was homeless or something. But I don't think she's gonna... There's nothing new about the Natter thing. I think at this point everyone has a pretty set opinion and will either watch it because they still think she cares what they think, or for train wreck appeal. I used to be a good cheerleader for Chantelle, too. I still don't hate her. And I would still applaud her if she tried what looked like sincerely was taking care of herself. And I don't just mean eating salad, get off the cross. I mean, like, getting some good sleep, taking the meds that you're prescribed, socializing with some people aside from on the internet, getting into random sexual soirees with people that turn weird and drug-filled. That could be something to avoid, too. So... We'll see. We'll see what she's going to do. But like I said, I think more eating, because the mukbangy crowd was always a safe bet for her. There was always people who'd watch her eat. And it may go there. She tried to stir some shit in the community posts. What was she talking about? Shannon, again. She hates Shannon and loves Shannon off and on every 6 months. Pretty much. So, it's going to be more of the same, I think. But like I said, I used to be a cheerleader for hers, and if she started trying to get well sincerely, I would be again. I got well after my 10,000th chance at getting better. I've seen sicker people than Chantelle get better, but not sitting around eating Indian food all day complaining about a guy they never dated. So that is all I have for now. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the notification bell so you have alerts when we have new videos and when we go live. You can follow Marc and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address and contact information is all listed below as well. Thanks again, and we will see you tomorrow. We are going live at 6 p.m. Eastern. Open chat, no topics. Foodie usually comes up. A couple other people do too. And just, it's very chill. We have good mods. It's actually not a huge chat. It's kind of chill, kind of nice. So if you're free, do stop by. Thanks for watching. Bye. Say goodbye, Marc. He's back in the garden. Bye. I'll do it on his behalf.